A brand new Gacha game just came out, and it's already soiled with a lot of generative AI controversy. So let's delve into this entire situation. It all starts with a game called Neverness to Everness. The name is an absolute tongue twister. It's developed by Hoda Studio, which is based in Suzhou, China, and the game released around April 29, so literally only about a week ago. And already has a lot of Gen AI controversy. So in the beta, a lot of people were already expressing that they feel like some things were AI generated or not, etc. And allegedly NTE staff had came out and made a statement. So this was a statement that was posted May 3rd. Now I was trying to find this original article and I couldn't find it. This was posted by Anime Updates, where Yang Lei, who is apparently the director, says, "Our bottom line is very clear and our core assets and character portraits will never touch AI. Second game players buy emotional value and everyone is disgusted with spending money to buy industrial assembly line products. We will mainly use AI to run some atmosphere renderings to see if it is the feeling we want as preliminary work for finding references and a lot of trial and error." So here in the statement, they basically assure that AI will not be in the core assets, character portraits, and they kind of make it sound like it's being used for some placeholders. Except a lot of people kind of came to Twitter being like, yo, there's like a lot of AI in this. So here we have this post. This one went really viral, 4.5 million views, and it reads, "Isn't this the most obvious usage of Gen AI? NT isn't even hiding it."
First, let's hear a few words from the organizer, Giovanni Dvorak.
Yeah, this is like the most obvious AI generated thing ever. Oh god, every frame the cat is like doing something weird. I would be honest though, as a cat owner, they kind of do look like this. They just kind of look like there's some weird sort of liquid physics that breaks the laws of gravity sometimes. But yeah, every frame of this, especially the hand twist. Where did it go? Oh, the fingers. Oh god, where's this finger going? Where's the cat going actually? Oh, this frame is nightmare fuel, honestly. Oh god. Oh no, the cat! No, leave the poor cat alone. Yeah, this is most definitely an AI generated cartoon, like without fail. This is most definitely so scuffed looking. Not the finger melting into the tie, man. People are just like posting still frames from the animation and it's just so funny. One frame and this person writes, "The design changed after his finger blocked it." And I didn't even notice, but bro starts wearing a blazer now? More still frames of the nightmare fuel cat. Oh no, not the kitty! And another person comments writing, "There's a billboard that's straight up scenes from Weathering With You, but with an AI filter on it. I really like this game and I'm enjoying it a lot, but holy crap, this is not a good look and it's so lazy." So this is the billboard and it really looks like Weathering With You, but they kind of AI generated a big cat in there. Like, look at this giant cat. Why is it peeing also? That's a choice for sure. And another person writes, "Not only is the game still full of Gen AI on launch, they straight up stole this shot from Weathering With You and ran it through AI." So here we have another shot of Weathering With You when they're watching the fireworks. And this is a billboard that exists and it most definitely is looking suspicious. Yeah, that does look like that frame, with like a different girl, basically the same guy. This also looks like a very suspicious billboard. All sus. I don't know why people here are being obtuse. The problem isn't that it's an Easter egg. The problem is they took human-made artwork and put it into AI. Any artist would be pissed. Generating images with a prompt is already scummy behavior, but then to take a whole artwork that somebody put time and effort into and have AI F it up is disgusting. Did they even ask if they could run it through AI first? If they wanted to have an Easter egg, they could have easily gotten somebody to make a drawing referencing the scene. Although apparently regarding the Weathering With You trailer that was playing in the square, that one allegedly has been taken down and replaced with something else. Another person also posted writing, "There's an 18-minute Gen AI anime short film in the theater, Neverness to Everness. Source is down in the comments." And then a Billy video was linked, where here we have the film, or some parts of it. Just look at the warping on the detailing on the sides. Ooh, this is looking suspicious. In the comment section, some people were saying like, "Oh, you guys are just hating to hate, like this isn't in the game anymore." So maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but at least we have this instance of it being in the game at some point because somebody caught this video. So other people were talking about the character art. So there were these posts circulating. Now, allegedly the banner, so this one, was a placeholder that later got replaced. And allegedly these two images aren't in the game. Apparently it was data mined and then maybe somebody ran it through AI or something, because the only files that were visible were like really, really small of these two characters. So whether that's true or not, up for debate. Another video that's been circulating is this fight scene, and a lot of people were talking about the fight scene specifically. Some people feel that AI was used in the process, some people don't. But what most people have agreed with, at least, is the flow of the fight scene. People were talking about how it's a bit odd, that the way they're fighting, the places they start, they swing the sword, and then things that should happen aren't happening, you know? Swipes the sword, doesn't collide with anything, but then suddenly they like hit back. And then later in the fight scene, she kind of gets like knocked through a bunch of non-existent wood panels, and they start burrowing through the ground, except they're not burrowing through the ground because they're not. Falls against something of some sort, like some sort of back piece on the wall. And then in the next frame, the wall stage looks intact and this character is now standing and no longer beaten into the wall. And they crash into the stage again. And that was just funny because everyone came together, was kind of like, yo, what's happening over here? But I digress about this point, just wanted to touch on it real quick. But beyond the issue of generative AI being in the game, some people support it, some people don't, is when the company actually lies about it. That is like the bigger issue at play here, actually. So we have this post, and this user writes, Iron Mouse has dropped her Neverness to Everness sponsorship after finding out that the developers lied to her agency about not using generative AI in the game.
And they had told my people that there's
literally
no
has scenes
AI
from
in it.
Weathering with You on a big TV in the city
Yep.
with an AI filter over it. It's not even a, whoops, we forgot to take out the temp assets. It's theft, and they keep lying. Feel sorry for anyone that was involved without knowing about
It's
this
so
or having
crazy.
already signed contracts without being able to back out.
Bro, I would have never known until I didn't know until I saw that thing on Twitter after the stream. I guess like since I did it, I got pushed. Like a lot of stuff got pushed to me, and then people also added me with stuff. So I saw it and I'm like, what the fuck, bro? And they told my sponsor people. They said no. They said we do not have AI in anything. There's no AI anywhere. And it's just like, why are you fucking lying, bro?
That is the worst part at the end of the day, because it's like, you know, if you are a creator, etc., you want to support what represents your brand and your values, and to be told, yep, no AI, no generative AI at all, anywhere, you know, you're like, oh, okay, like, so down to promote the game, blah, 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 play it for a little bit, and then you're like, yo, wait a sec, there is generative AI. And that's the worst part, because then other people are gonna see that and be like, oh, well, like, this creator supports Gen AI when they were lied to. You know, that is awful, man. And I feel so bad for Mouse for this. A lot of people also, which I saw this narrative where they were like, I feel annoyed for seeing all my favorite creators support generative AI by playing the game. A lot of times the creators didn't know, you know, like unless you're an artist, unless you are very, very like art savvy, you know, and, you know, got to those parts in the game. Now, I don't know if any of that was part of the main quest, so you had to play through it, or, you know, sometimes maybe it's like in a part of the town that you just didn't walk to, so you didn't see that billboard, you know, but there are many instances where like, if you don't know, you don't know. And I'm not like gonna fault you for that, right? It just sucks that they were lied to at the end of the day, because nobody should be lied to about something, right? That when you ask for clarity, they're like, yeah, no, no Gen AI, and they just lied. And a voice actor, Maggie Elise, writes, I recently found out that a game I worked on has been using AI and has been dishonest about it. I want to be clear that I do not support generative AI in any creative field, including voiceover, art, writing, or music. If this is not addressed and removed, I will not continue working with this team. Which also, again, some people in the comments are being so absolutely rude for no reason. Like, sometimes the internet is just very, very interesting, right? But like, you can have a stance on something, right? Like, oh, you support Gen AI or you do not support Gen AI. But to find out that, you know, this company that you've been working for has lied in some capacity towards the people that they're partnering with, the creators, that's not a good look on the company at all. And I feel like if you had, I don't know, some sort of moral compass, you probably wouldn't want to work with a company or would feel comfortable being tied to a company that has publicly lied to the creators that they're supposed to be partnering with. Because also in a whole different field, right? Voice acting is also an art, and they're also an industry that's being impacted by the rise of generative AI and AI, because a lot of voice actors are being replaced by shitty AI counterparts. So NTE came out with a statement writing, Dear appraisers, thank you for the feedback. It matters to us. Neverness to Everness is built on human creativity. The characters, stories, and world you experience are the work of artists, writers, and designers. AI-assisted tools were used only on a small number of background and environmental assets, not on the characters or stories that define this game. We're already reviewing and reworking the flagged assets, Clear Skies in Summer, and Pink Paws Heist. Your feedback shapes this game, so please keep it coming. We're listening, and we're committed to delivering the quality you deserve. So at the end of the day, what are your thoughts on this entire situation? And again, please don't send hate to any parties involved. There is a whole boat of people, of like gacha game lovers on the internet, who are like, yo, who cares about generative AI or not? I just want to play the game. All of you like anti-AI stands are so annoying, blah, 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 blah. You guys are all performative. And there's a whole bunch of other people who don't support generative AI who are like, yo, I just want, you know, a good game that has not been tainted with generative AI. So I don't want to play your game until it gets removed. Curious about where you stand in all of this, in this entire situation. Yeah, there's like a big boat that are just like, you know, I don't care. I just want a good game. If you put Gen AI here or there, don't like it. Me personally, again, generative AI steals from artists, and there was a lot of it from what it looks like in this game. I personally don't want to play a game that has generative AI in it, but especially if they've lied to people about not having generative AI when they actually did. And for me, that's like the biggest issue, is the deception that happened. So what are your thoughts? And again, please don't send hate to any parties involved. And with that, if you like this video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Don't forget to check me out on Etsy. I have digital art there for streamers and creators. I also have a coffee with free resources like a free sponsorship guide, and I stream on Twitch 3 days a week, Mondays and Saturdays at 6 p.m. and Thursdays I do a podcast with my friend at 7:30. So I hope to catch y'all there or in another video. Peace.